little something special to share with you, a message that will guide you through some powerful energies and insights. Let's dive right in. So I can sense that there are quite a few eyes on you right now, observing you from a distance. The deceit card reflects this energy. There are people around you, some watching with admiration, others with envy. You may notice their presence through social media, where there's a sense of monitoring, hidden intentions, or even obsessive curiosity. There's a figure here, lurking in the shadows, representing deceit or envy. You could be dealing with someone who feels threatened by your success, perhaps even an enemy, someone who hides behind a mask of friendliness but harbors jealousy. I'm also hearing that you've got an incredible amount of support surrounding you right now, people who are truly cheering you on. This feels like a moment of triumph, especially after what could have been a spiritual battle. You may have faced someone who was draining your energy, someone obsessed with trying to tear you down, but you've come out stronger, victorious. It's as if you dealt a blow to their ego, and now you've risen, shining even brighter in the light. The universe is showing you that you are surrounded by those who genuinely love and support you, your soul tribe. It's that beautiful, protective energy that's lifting you up, helping you move forward. These people are like a wave of divine energy, guiding and cheering you on as you step into your power. You've likely been a source of light for them too, and now you're all rising together, united in this energy of mutual support and growth. I'm seeing synchronicities like 111, a divine confirmation that you're on the right path, with your soul family right there with you. Now this is interesting. I'm definitely sensing a more malicious energy coming through with this enemy and the deceit card. Deceit carries that shadowy, lurking presence, like someone who may seem to be moving forward, but their gaze is locked on you, watching from the past. It's the kind of energy where they just can't let go, constantly peeking over their shoulder, obsessing over what happened. I feel like this person is from your past, and though you've already risen above, victorious, they might still be trying to keep tabs on you, possibly through fake accounts or other underhanded means online. It's like their ego was bruised, and they just can't stop replaying it in their mind. But let's look deeper. All eyes are on you now, and for many, you've become a source of great inspiration. The people who are cheering you on, they've seen what you've been through. They know your story. Some of them are watching over you like guardians, making sure you stay uplifted. At the same time, I feel that your success has really intimidated this enemy. They're retreating, hiding in the shadows now, like they've built up thick walls to protect themselves. It's almost as if they've armed themselves with defenses, but those walls aren't to attack. They're to shield their wounded pride. Like a fortress with cannons aimed outward, they tried to bring you down or damage your reputation, but their efforts have only left them more isolated and defeated. Now, for some reason, I'm sensing a deep envy surrounding you, and it's all because you have so many people who truly admire you. They see you as a beacon of inspiration, someone who stands in their power, shining brightly in their eyes. You're being seen in such a positive, radiant light, and that's where the envy comes in, because this is exactly what this toxic person craves but can't attain. Their energy is sneaky, underhanded, and full of deception. They're not genuine in the slightest. Their facade is as thin as a mask that hides their true intentions. They've always had bad intentions, not just for others, but specifically for you as well. Now I feel like they've retreated into the shadows, lurking just out of sight. It's almost as if they're trying to stay hidden while keeping tabs on you, unable to let go of their resentment. All right, let me go ahead and reshuffle the deck and see what comes through next for you. We've pulled the Victory card from the Energy Oracle deck, and let me tell you, this is your glow up in full force. You're basking in joy and radiance, and the energy around you is one of pure upliftment. There's a strong circle of support surrounding you right now, and if that hasn't come into your reality just yet, you're clearing out the shadows, the toxic energies, to make space for your true soul tribe to enter. You're incredibly powerful, like a beacon of light that everyone is watching, having gone through the fire, the challenges, those divine shakeups, like tower moments. But through it all, you've become unshakable. Your strength is undeniable, fueled by love, and even this enemy who underestimated you is starting to see it. They had no idea who they were dealing with, but now it's all crystal clear. The power of your soul, that indestructible essence you carry. And those who support you, they see it too, and they think you're absolutely remarkable. Despite everything, the devastation, the battles, the struggles, you've emerged 10 times stronger. This is your victory, a triumph born from hardship, yet you've come out the other side with your sweetness intact. It hasn't hardened you. If anything, it's made you more compassionate, more open-hearted. They're drawn to that uplifting energy, seeing you as not only resilient, but also deeply romantic and kind. This enemy wanted to break you down, to harden your heart like theirs. They've been through deep pain, but instead of using those experiences to grow or help others, they've let bitterness take over. Their goal was to drag you into their darkness, to make you feel the same emptiness they do. There's a lot of envy in their actions because, like in Cinderella, where she gracefully rises above all the cruelty thrown her way, they saw your kindness and mistook it for weakness, thinking they could easily take advantage of you. They can't stand the way life seems to shine brighter for you, how blessings seem to find you effortlessly. It's like they're stuck in their own storm, watching you dance in the sunlight. They don't understand the energy behind it, that what you radiate is what you attract. Instead, they see only the surface, believing you've had it easy while they remain trapped in their own toxic cycle, constantly drawing in chaos, because that's where their focus remains. They're blind to the fact that the light in your life isn't luck. It's the result of your own vibration and the energy you put into the world. This enemy wanted nothing more than to shatter your spirit, to make your heart as cold and bitter as theirs. They've faced their own deep wounds, but instead of using that pain to heal and uplift, they've allowed it to twist them into someone who tries to break others. They were determined to drag you down, to snuff out your light. Their envy runs deep, like the wicked stepmother in Cinderella, who despised how Cinderella remained kind and graceful, no matter how much cruelty was thrown her way. They saw your kindness and mistook it for weakness. They thought if they could just throw enough hardship at you, they could crush your spirit. But what they didn't realize is that like Cinderella, your strength lies in your heart. They can't stand how life seems to bless you, how good things always seem to come your way, as if you're effortlessly moving through life with ease while they're stuck in their own bitterness. It's like they're trapped in a dark room watching you dance in the sunlight, completely unaware that it's not luck or ease that draws that light to you. It's the energy you radiate. They don't understand that you've faced your own struggles, but instead of letting the darkness consume you, you chose to rise above it. They're caught in their own cycle of chaos, attracting more negativity because that's where their focus lies. What this person completely failed to grasp is the depth of work you've been doing on yourself, day in and day out. They see the surface, but they don't understand the layers of healing and growth you've undergone. Your supporters, they see everything. They see how you've weathered storm after storm and emerged stronger each time. You've been through what felt like a tower moment, one that shattered old structures and forced everything toxic in your life to fall away. And while it may have seemed like chaos, it was a blessing in disguise. It was the universe clearing the path for you to become even more empowered, more in tune with your heart, and more deeply in love with yourself. This transformation has opened you up in ways that others notice, and they can't help but be inspired by your glow. You've always had a purity, an innocence, but now it's coupled with a strength that radiates even more intensely. You've walked through the fire, and instead of being burned, you rose from the ashes like a phoenix, reborn, radiant, and unbreakable. And this person who wanted to see you crumble, they can't stop thinking about it. They're in disbelief, wondering how all their schemes and tactics to bring you down could have failed so spectacularly. They never truly understood the power within you, the depth of your soul, and now they're left stunned by your rise. You're someone who has embraced shadow work, diving deep into the parts of yourself that most people run from. You've looked in the mirror with honesty, facing your fears, your past wounds, and your doubts. But instead of letting those shadows define you, you've used them as fuel for transformation. You've gained wisdom and clarity through this self-reflection, and that's something your enemy could never understand. They wanted to tear you down, knock you off your throne, and see you drowning in self-doubt. They wanted to strip you of your confidence, your light, and leave you with nothing but insecurities. They craved the power trip, the ego boost of watching you fall. This enemy, if they knew anything about your beliefs, shrugged it off as if it was all nonsense. They genuinely believed you were just this sweet, naive soul, someone who would be easy to manipulate and break. But let me tell you, they've had a rude awakening. They underestimated you, and now they're realizing just how powerful and resilient you are. Here's the thing. As I'm speaking, I just looked at the clock, and it's exactly 6 o'clock. It's like the number 6 wanted to make itself known. 6 is the number of love, and it feels like someone significant is in your energy right now. If this resonates, it could be your divine counterpart, someone who sees you as their mirror. They've been cheering you on from the sidelines, helping you step into the light. Okay, let's go ahead and reshuffle and see what comes through next. Okay, so next we've drawn the hostilities here, And this is exactly what your enemy wanted to trap you in: hostility, fear, and conflict. This person, they're so deeply disempowered in their own life, constantly spiraling into self-destruction. It's like they can't help but sabotage themselves, and to fill that void, they wanted to feel a false sense of power over you. Operating entirely from their ego, they sought to control your energy, to make you feel stuck in the heaviness they live in, whether that's fear, sadness, or the wounds they've refused to heal. They saw your bright, shining light, and it intimidated them. Like a moth drawn to a flame, they wanted to dim it, to take pleasure in watching your energy drain away. For a time, they may have succeeded, but only temporarily. This is someone who operates from a place of deep darkness, someone whose intentions were far from pure. Despite everything, you remain soft, romantic, and deeply imaginative. You're like a poet who can see the world through the lens of creativity and intuition. You've stayed connected to your higher self, to your guides, and to your loving, nurturing nature. I'm hearing that you have this incredible gift of inspiring others, showing them that no challenge is too big to overcome. You've been that beacon of light, helping their anxieties melt away, because they realize it's all about mindset. It's all about perception. They've watched you, and they see how you stayed grounded, kept a positive outlook, and pulled yourself back into a high vibration. You have this inner balance, this wisdom of the soul that allows you to stay in control. You're not just drifting aimlessly through life. You're strong, stable, and fully in control of your destiny. Your journey is inspiring others, reminding them they too can face any obstacle and come out stronger because they've seen you do exactly that. I have to say, you've got my heart racing. Amongst the crowd of people admiring your strength, there's a divine counterpart, someone who is completely in love with you. If it resonates, this person could be your mirror, a reflection of your soul's power and love. On the flip side, you've also put this enemy, the one who tried to drag you down, into a state of panic. Their heart races, not out of love, but out of fear. When you broke free, when you separated from them or escaped their control, it sent them spiraling. They may have tried to destroy your reputation, desperate to discredit you so that no one would believe your truth about the harm they caused. That heart-racing energy, it's also them in sheer panic, realizing they've lost their grip on you. I'm telling you, this enemy is absolutely intimidated by you now. The tables have completely turned. There may have been a time when you felt intimidated by them, when their energy was overwhelming. But what they didn't know is that you've been quietly going inward, working on yourself, finding your strength and stability from deep within. You've reached a point where you were able to take decisive action, cutting them out of your life and breaking free from their grip. Your transformation is undeniable. You've elevated your vibration, and now it's clear that the power dynamic has shifted entirely. The tables have truly turned. All right, let's see what else I can draw from your situation here. Okay, Patience card comes out here from Energy Oracle, and it speaks to the deep transformation you've undergone. This is not just a surface level change, but a profound inner shift. Like a seed planted deep in the soil, you've taken your time to grow, pushing through the darkness to emerge into the light. This moment marks a new phase in your life, one where you are fully stepping into your soul's purpose and aligning with your true soul tribe. For many of you, you've transcended beyond the illusions of the false matrix, moving beyond the veil and ascending into higher states of consciousness. You're walking in the energy of the new earth, embodying the conscious divine human, fully awakened. Your journey has been so powerful that it has caused others around you to pause and reconsider their own paths. You have this unique ability to shift perspectives, making people stop and view things from a different lens. You bring clarity and awaken new ways of thinking in others, sparking thoughts they may never have considered before. This power of yours is tied to immense personal awakening and empowerment, reminding others that the mind is not the true self, but rather a collection of conditioned thoughts. The true essence is the soul, the observer, the one who sees beyond the mental chatter. Some of you resonate deeply with being spiritual, perhaps even having a platform where you share these truths to help others awaken. You're using your light to break down the false matrix, helping people dissolve the illusions they've been trapped in and guiding them to freedom. It's like you're shining this beam of truth that melts away the layers of conditioning, allowing others to see the world with clarity and step into their own power. And as for this enemy, the tables have completely turned. They're looking at you now and realizing they never saw you for who you truly are. They underestimated you, thinking you were just this soft, kind, imaginative soul. And while you are all of those things, what they failed to see is the immense strength, wisdom, and maturity that you carry. You've evolved into someone who not only sees the bigger picture, but maintains emotional balance and grace. Now they're backing off, realizing they misjudged you entirely. Spirit is saying they've been forced to retreat and watch you from a distance, stuck in a state of panic, because your power is something they never expected to face. You're the one who exposed this person for who they really are, and that's something they simply can't handle. Their entire survival depends on wearing that fake mask, pretending to be a good person, while in reality, they're using others to sustain themselves. They latch onto people's energy because they can't function on their own, too self-destructive and destructive to those around them. Without leeching off others, they'd have nothing to hold on to. Also, I'm seeing love here. It's undeniable. I just noticed it again, and let me tell you, there's a divine counterpart in your energy. You were meant to meet this person. They've lifted you into the truth of what love really is, showing you just how incredible you are. This person is completely, wholeheartedly in love with you. Their adoration for you is undeniable. All right, let me go ahead and reshuffle and see what else we can uncover for you. We've pulled the contract card, and this represents a soul contract, a sacred agreement tied to your purpose of helping elevate the collective consciousness. This isn't just about you, there's a deeper connection here. If it resonates, your divine counterpart is also in this light. They're a powerful inspiration, like a bright, shining beacon, working alongside you to uplift the collective vibration. Just like the contract represents working together on a shared mission, your connection with this person is part of something bigger, like building a spiritual community, a place where higher frequencies are nurtured and spread to those around you. Next, we've drawn the attachment card, which ties in with the message of releasing toxic connections. If this enemy tries to reach out, whether they claim to miss you or express regrets, ignore them. Block them. These people often use manipulative tactics, like trying to reconnect with promises of love or change. This is what's known as the Hoover, a term used in narcissistic dynamics when someone tries to suck you back into their energy field. They're psychic vampires, draining your energy to feed their own emptiness when they're running low. So, if this person tries to contact you, stand firm. Stay in your personal power, in your joy, focusing on the light and your inner peace. They're only trying to punish or manipulate you again, but you've risen above that. Stay empowered and don't let them siphon your energy. For some of you, there's a clear progression happening with your divine counterpart. They're moving closer, ready to express their love for you. You are constantly on their mind. They can't stop thinking about you. This person sees you in such a sacred light, recognizing how kind-hearted, mature, and loving you are not just to them, but to everyone around you. They deeply respect and admire this about you. Your divine counterpart is the complete opposite of the enemy you've faced. While that enemy took advantage of your kindness, using and abusing the love you freely gave, they never had the wisdom to appreciate the blessing your energy was. But your divine counterpart, they see everything clearly. Where the enemy tried to pull you into darkness, this divine counterpart stands in the light. They are love, they are truth, and they have the maturity and wisdom to cherish you for who you are. They want to love you in all the ways you truly deserve, and they genuinely want to see you thriving. Unlike the enemy who was threatened by your light, your divine counterpart celebrates it. They want to lift you higher, to help place you in the limelight where you belong. Okay, what else can I channel about this situation? I'm hearing regret strongly in this energy, but it's not the kind of regret where they feel sorry for you. It's all about themselves. This enemy is filled with regret because they now realize they messed with the wrong person. You exposed them for who they truly are, reflecting their own darkness back to them, and that caused a major narcissistic injury they couldn't handle. Instead of owning up to their actions, they projected their own faults onto you, trying to paint you as the villain. Now they're feeling foolish, wishing they could turn back time and make amends. But don't be fooled. If they come forward claiming they regret what they did, saying they want to fix things, it's not out of genuine remorse. They're only trying to come back into your life to steal more of your energy, to finish what they couldn't before. Their regret is rooted in self-pity, because since you've been gone, they've realized no one shines as brightly as you do. No one else has that loving, giving energy they took for granted. And let's not forget, they threw you under the bus when they had the chance. Now, they're stuck with the weight of their own actions, regretting that they ever tried to dim your light. Okay, I'm going to draw my last card here and finish this reading up. We've pulled the Broken Heart card from the Energy Oracle deck, which reflects the instability this enemy brought into your life. For some of you, this could have been someone you shared a home with, a romantic partner, a family member, or even a housemate. They tried to break down your sense of stability, causing chaos in your personal life, whether through manipulation, deception, or outright destruction. Whatever they thought they stole from you, it was never of true value. They may have taken material things or tried to disrupt your peace, but they didn't touch your wisdom, your strength, or the lessons you gained from the experience. They didn't evolve, they didn't learn. If anything, they've just become sneakier in how they prey on others. They were wearing a mask the entire time, pretending to be something they weren't, but now that mask has fallen off. For some, the narcissistic injury was so deep that they became obsessed with punishing you just because you had the courage to stand up for yourself, to speak the truth, and to rise above their manipulation. How dare you, right? But here's the truth. They can't touch you anymore. You're far beyond their reach, and they're left to deal with the consequences of their own actions. You're stepping into your fortune now, in every sense of the word, financially, emotionally, mentally, and through love. Your soul tribe is either already surrounding you or coming in, and this collective energy is like a powerful wave of positivity and ascension. There's no turning back from here. You and your soul family are all rising higher, supporting one another as you grow together. As for this enemy, they wouldn't even dare to come near you anymore. They know they have no chance of pulling you back into their toxic cycle, no opportunity to sneak their way back into your life. And I'm getting chills just thinking about it. For some of you, you saw the evil in them. You could feel the darkness they carried, almost like you could see the shadow in their eyes. That malevolent energy they tried to hide was something you felt deep down, sending chills down your spine. It was undeniable. Your words, though, they cut through them. When you spoke your truth, they couldn't handle it. The truth pierced them like nothing else, and it created an enormous narcissistic injury. Maybe others heard this truth as well, and that only deepened their fear and anxiety. But on the flip side, your words have also touched those who admire you. You've inspired so many people, helping them shift their perspective, opening their eyes to a higher, more expansive, spiritual way of seeing the world. You have the power to transform lives, and for some, that truth was a blessing. But for this narcissist, it was a curse. And I know I might come off a little repetitive here, but I truly believe you are this person's karma. They've gotten away with their behavior for so long, manipulating and hurting others, but they met their match with you. They underestimated you, and now they're paying the price. Meanwhile, your fortune is pouring in. Success, stability, and love. And you've got a circle of truly loving, supportive souls who are cheering you on every step of the way. This feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. You've come so far, and everything that's unfolding is a testament to your strength. Before we dive into today's reading, I just want to take a moment to thank all of you for the love, the comments, the likes, and the incredible energy you bring to the channel every day. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Tonight's reading is a no contact message from your person. I'll be pulling from my tarot deck to tap into how they're currently feeling, how they're viewing you and your connection, and any other key messages that need to come through. So let's get started and tune in to receive a clear and direct message straight from their heart space. Okay, interesting. The first card I'm getting here is the Emperor. This card carries the energy of stability, control, and authority, representing the divine masculine stepping into a pivotal moment of recognition and responsibility. Now, moving into the message itself, we have, I need your help. This feels like a direct and urgent communication from your masculine energy. It's as if they're reaching out, breaking through the silence, asking for your support. The energy here is clear and assertive, almost brutally honest, as if there's no room for pretenses anymore. There's a masculine presence in your energy field who clearly needs help, and this ties into the greater connection you share. It feels like they're starting to acknowledge things about this connection that may have been hidden from them before. This awakening is bringing them to a crucial point in their life, where they are caught in a battle between their mind and heart, where, unfortunately, their mind seems to be taking the lead. If you've been wondering why they've remained silent or distant, it's because they're navigating this inner turmoil, wrestling with their emotions and the weight of this connection. Okay. The energy I'm picking up here also feels influenced by something external. It's as if your person is looking beyond your connection, seeking outside advice or input to help guide them in making a decision. This isn't happening by chance. It's an intentional move on their part. I can sense this back and forth energy where they're torn between following their heart and listening to someone advising them to rely on logic. There's a constant push and pull within them. The moment they try to lay everything out logically, their heart begins to speak, urging them to consider their deeper feelings. But just as they start to listen to their heart, they feel the tug to be more rational again. It's this in-between space they find themselves in, and it directly relates to how they feel about you, divine feminine. It's almost like they're seeking a sign or input on how to move forward, but there's a seriousness to this energy. They may even be questioning the purpose of your connection, trying to make sense of it all. But what stands out most is their desire for brutal honesty. They're craving clarity, and they're determined to figure out the best path forward, even if it's challenging. All right, so I'm hearing that it seems like they might be tapping into a deeper, perhaps more hidden aspect of your connection, something that wasn't immediately obvious before. What's interesting is that the person they're turning to for advice is the complete opposite of you. Your person knows you as someone who operates from a place of deep emotion and heart-centered energy. You're likely very in touch with your feelings, using them as a guiding force to navigate both life and love, and that's something they admire about you. But right now, they're seeking something different. They're looking for a more detached, straightforward perspective, something clear-cut without the emotional depth you offer. It feels like they want input from someone who shares their current mindset. This could be another masculine energy they trust, someone they're close to, and confide in for advice. The energy coming through here feels very detached, but not necessarily in a negative way. It's just that, for some reason, your person feels like this logical, unemotional approach is what they need at this moment. If you're wondering how your person is feeling right now, it seems they're seeking help with something related to you, but they're not looking for emotional guidance. Instead, they're trying to step outside the emotional depth of your connection to approach things more logically. The person they've turned to for advice is someone who aligns with their current mindset and energy. It's clear that this is another masculine energy, perhaps a close friend or family member, someone they trust deeply. What stands out is that they're sharing details about your connection in a way they haven't before, really opening up in a new and personal way. All right, I'm going to reshuffle and see what comes up here next. Okay, the next card I'm pulling here is the Nine of Swords, which symbolizes mental anguish and worry. So I'm hearing that to whoever this applies to, you might also be experiencing sleepless nights, mirroring the intense emotional state of your masculine energy. There's a strong feeling of emotional, mental, and even sexual repression coming through with this card. Your masculine is deeply affected, and all of this suppressed energy is manifesting as a constant mental battle. They're dealing with an overwhelming amount of thoughts and emotions that they aren't able to fully express or share with you right now. This is also why they're seeking validation or advice from an external source, someone they trust, because their mind just can't find peace. But for your masculine, this goes beyond just overthinking. It's a profound inner struggle that is affecting them on a much deeper level than they can communicate. This is someone who spends a great deal of time with you on their mind, divine feminine, but there's also this strong undercurrent of avoidance. It's as if your connection has drifted into a space that feels colder, more distant, like a winter breeze that suddenly replaces the warmth. You might sense them sending you mixed signals. One moment, they're energetically close, almost pulling on your soul, and the next, you can feel them retreating, as though they're putting up walls. The way you've been responding to all of this has completely caught them off guard. If they could truly express themselves, they'd confess they don't know what to expect from you anymore. Any old expectations they clung to have slowly dissolved, like sand slipping through their fingers. During the day, they can push these emotions aside, burying themselves in work or whatever tasks occupy their time. It's almost like they can distract themselves from the emotional weight that's constantly present. But at night, when the world quiets down, their emotions become inescapable. This is when you might feel their energy pulling at you, reaching out in ways they can't during the day. Their mind can't find peace, restless and overwhelmed by the intensity of it all. They can feel your emotions too, as if the intensity of your connection flows back and forth like a tide. It's almost too much for them to handle, like a wave crashing over them, impossible to ignore. It's so easy for them to avoid all of this during the day, but at night, it's a different story. When darkness falls, they're forced to face what's been building inside, and it pulls them into a deeper side of themselves, one they might not be comfortable exploring. This is why they're tempted to take a more logical approach, perhaps even advised by someone close to them, to make sense of what they're feeling. Yet, despite their best efforts, they're struggling. Your person is losing sleep over this, and the connection you share, particularly through the dream state, is a powerful and undeniable link that goes beyond the surface, reaching deep into the subconscious. It's in this space, where the mind quiets and the soul speaks, that they are truly feeling the weight of this connection. And this is coming through really strongly here. When your energy is able to reach them, whether it's during the day or especially at night, even when they're trying to push thoughts of you away, it really highlights just how powerful the energetic bond is between you and this person. There's a lot of mental energy being spent at night, times when they should be resting, but instead, they're consumed by thoughts of you. This seems to be the only time when they are truly confronted by their raw, unfiltered emotions about you. It's deeply connected to the internal battle they're facing between their mind and heart, trying to find some kind of balance between these conflicting energies. This mental and emotional struggle even follows them into the dream state. You might be feeling this too, divine feminine. You could be dreaming about your masculine, or perhaps you feel a heaviness in the air as night approaches. Maybe you get sudden thoughts of them, or you're receiving telepathic messages. There's definitely something significant happening between you at night, and it's closely tied to what your masculine is going through internally. They're unconsciously sending this energy your way through the bond you share, reaching out to you in a way that they might not be able to in the physical world. All right, I'm going to shuffle and see what else we can get next. Okay. So the next card here is Two of Swords. This card often represents a mental crossroads, a state of inner conflict and indecision, perfectly reflecting the energy coming through here. All right, what else can I channel about this divine feminine? Okay, I'm picking up on some nervous energy. I'm also hearing the words, "Are you nervous too?" Because if you're wondering why your masculine seems to be pulling away or avoiding you at this time, this is the reason. They're starting to feel like your connection has reached a point where they need to create some distance, to distract themselves in some way. The energy surrounding your masculine right now is incredibly stoic, almost as if they're forcing themselves to view everything from a detached, unemotional perspective. This cut and dry approach is their way of coping, and the very fact that they're doing this shows just how deeply emotionally invested they are in you. What's interesting is that they see a lot of similarities between the two of you, especially in how you both express your emotions. Even though on the surface there may be differences in your connection, they feel like, on a deeper level, you're the same person. This similarity is both a blessing and a challenge for them. On one hand, they appreciate the emotional alignment, but on the other, it makes the connection feel incredibly heavy at times, too intense for them to process easily. They're caught between viewing this bond as something powerful yet overwhelming. On the positive side, your person feels like you understand them on a level no one else ever has. You have this remarkable ability to tap into their needs without them having to say a word, and that brings a certain ease to your dynamic. But when you're not on the same page, or when your person is deep in their feelings, you not only pick up on it immediately, but you also act as a mirror to them. They realize that what they're feeling, you're often feeling too. Even if you express it differently, there's always that same underlying energy. You have this way of addressing things that makes it clear you're fully aware of what's happening in your connection, even when they try to downplay or deny it. The two of you can read each other's minds and hearts with almost uncanny accuracy, and that's part of what makes this distance between you so significant. You both feel it deeply. When the thought, "Are you nervous too?" comes up, it's a confirmation that whatever they're feeling, they sense you're feeling it too. The current state of your connection is likely creating unease for both of you. They're trying to approach things logically right now because you both are so similar in how you process emotions and thoughts. Your thoughts drive your actions, and at this moment, it seems like you're both trying to take a more detached, rational approach to the situation. But there's a heavy mirroring energy at play here, so when something isn't being openly communicated, the energy shifts between you. It's as if your attitudes towards each other reflect that unspoken tension. Because of how deeply you understand one another, There's a lot of telepathic communication going on, a lot of mind reading, but with that comes the possibility of assumptions. You're both processing things in almost the same way, which can lead to misunderstandings when things aren't fully expressed. This is why your person wants to know if you're nervous, because they're feeling it too. Both of you seem to be caught in this space where your mind and heart are locked in a battle, and you're not sure whether to lean into logic or love. It's like you're teetering on the edge, going back and forth depending on the energy of your thoughts or what you're sensing from each other in that moment. This connection has an extraordinary level of sensitivity. It doesn't matter if there's distance or what may be happening on the surface. The bond between you is so strong that it becomes almost unbearable during times of no contact. Even in silence, the energy between you is deafening, as if every unsaid word carries its own weight, louder than any conversation could be. It's like trying to ignore the thunder in the distance. You can't help but feel it rumbling beneath the surface. Right now, it feels like one of those moments where your person is having sleepless nights, reaching out to others for advice or clarity. You may be doing the same in your own way. There's this underlying current of nervousness surrounding your connection right now, like the quiet tension before a storm, a sense of anticipation hanging in the air. Okay, I'm going to reshuffle now. Let's see what comes through for you. Okay, the Lovers is coming out strong here. This card is all about deep, soulful connections and the choices we make when it comes to love. It represents the duality within your connection, the push and pull, the mirroring of each other's feelings and actions. What's coming through and becoming clear to me right now is that both of you are feeling this intense energy, yet neither of you seems to have the words to fully express what's happening on your respective sides of this bond. Despite the depth of this connection, there's a lot that remains unspoken. You and your masculine are mirroring each other emotionally, and that makes things even more intense, more triggering than a typical connection. If you could both be completely honest, you'd probably admit that you feel misunderstood. There's this energy of wanting to communicate, but not knowing how to truly say what's in your hearts. The emotional weight between you is heavy, and it's as though you're reflecting each other's deepest emotions, but without the clarity you both long for. This is no ordinary connection. It's one that goes beyond the surface, where your silence speaks louder than words. Divine Feminine, you may feel like your masculine has no idea what it's like to walk in your shoes, to experience this connection from your perspective, and how it has shaped your life since coming into the realization of what it truly means. The way your energy is coming through is powerful yet delicate, like a flower that blooms even in the harshest winds. You carry yourself with such grace, embodying a light-hearted energy that tries to rise above the lower vibrations of this connection, even though those deeper, more challenging aspects are still present. This connection pulls from every corner of your being, forcing you to confront things you may not want to see or address. It brings to the surface wounds from your past, whether from childhood or previous relationships, leaving them raw and exposed, with no way to escape the intensity. There are likely moments when you find yourself questioning the entire connection, wondering if it's as real as you once thought. But the truth is, whatever you're feeling, your masculine feels it too. In the same way, They may feel like you don't fully understand what this connection is like for them as the masculine energy. To them, it's as if the universe has placed everything they've ever wanted right in front of them. Yet they still find themselves needing to practice restraint. The way your energy comes through, this person sees you as their greatest weakness. And while this might feel like a burden at times, it's also why they make the choice to distance themselves. They believe that by staying away, they are helping to keep the vibration of your connection high, protecting it from the lower energies that might otherwise pull it down. The masculine energy you're connected to is someone who is fully aware of how deeply you feel about them, divine feminine. They understand the weight of this connection for you, and in some ways, they may even be tempted by the power that comes with that knowledge. This taps into a deeper aspect of their character. They know they have to be careful with you because of the intense bond you share. At times, they may feel drawn to approach you from a lower state, making decisions from a place that's less aligned with their higher self. Being away from you seems to expose their shadow side, and it's almost as if they want you to understand what it's like for them in that space of separation. They're faced with incredibly intense emotions that sometimes push the boundaries of their self-control, feelings that can overwhelm them. There's a very repressed masculine energy coming through here. They don't think you fully realize that when it comes to you, they have to make a conscious choice every day to hold back, to practice restraint. They're doing this because they understand the magnitude of your connection. They know it's something higher, something sacred, and that's why they're treating it with such care. But at the same time, they are still human, still operating within the duality of their masculine vessel, balancing between divinity and their lower state. This inner struggle seems to become even more pronounced during times of separation or when there's no contact between you. It's in these moments that they may seek guidance or advice from other masculine energies. But this isn't just any advice. They turn to those who resonate on a higher level, someone who understands what it's like to walk in their shoes. They believe that if they gave in to their emotions or acted impulsively, they would hinder their own growth in a significant way. This is also why they may feel like this time apart is necessary, because the last time you were together or spoke, the energy you mirrored back to them was incredibly triggering. You have this unique way of holding up a mirror to their actions, and oftentimes they don't like what they see. This really taps into how they process these moments behind the scenes, those private moments when no one is watching. It's as if you're getting a glimpse into what they're dealing with internally, and this might be something you were concerned about at some point. There's a shift happening in how they view this connection now, as well as how they hold themselves accountable within it. Right now, they're navigating this experience completely separate from you, but the emotions are still running high, even in the distance. If this resonates with you, it's likely that you're feeling that emotional intensity, even during this separation. Your person, however, is trying to take a step back. They're working to approach things differently. They're making an effort not to match the emotional intensity, but instead are trying to see it all from a more detached perspective. What's also significant is that they're doing something that feels unfamiliar to them, opening up about your connection and seeking guidance from trusted people around them. And this leads us to the next card here, the Hanged Man. This card represents a shift in perspective, a moment of pause where one is forced to see things differently, perfectly aligning with the energy I'm picking up here. Oh yeah, for some reason I'm getting the feeling that your presence in their life came as an unexpected shift, something they weren't fully prepared for. It's like you've set a new standard for them through your actions, and they're feeling the impact of it. The way you express your emotions, strong yet composed, without any sense of neediness, has sent a powerful message that speaks volumes. Your energy is calm but undeniable, and in response, this masculine energy is reflecting your approach, trying to bring more logic and strategy into the way they view this connection. What's fascinating is that for a long time, your person didn't see themselves in you. And this is so interesting because you two are, in essence, the same soul, a reflection of each other. But this isn't about them relating to you as a person. It's that they didn't identify with your level of femininity. Every masculine energy holds both masculine and feminine aspects, but how they were raised and taught to view femininity influences how they express this internally and externally, especially in their relationships. You're connected to someone who is becoming emotionally open in ways they didn't expect, and they're now trying to figure out why you, of all people, have this profound effect on them. It's like you flipped their world upside down, forcing them to see themselves in a way they've never had to before, and they're starting to shift their perspective. This is why they're looking at your connection from a new angle, and what they're learning is deeply resonating with them. They're realizing that they're not alone in these feelings, and it's this realization that sets the divine masculine apart from the wounded masculine. They're moving from a place of impulsivity and physical detachment to a space where they are emotionally present. And this shift isn't a reflection of you as a person. I keep sensing that you have a very specific way of mirroring your person, divine feminine. It's like something in your speech, your actions, or even your presence just clicks for them. You're not only reflecting their highest self, but you're also holding up a mirror to their shadow side, the parts of themselves they've been trying to avoid. This is what's being brought to the surface, and now they're seeking a deeper understanding of this dynamic, trying to integrate and heal the wounded feminine energy they've repressed for so long. This healing isn't just happening for them, it's likely helping you as well. You may not even realize it, but this mirroring could be something you're both unconsciously doing together. You've probably dealt with wounded masculine energy in your past, perhaps in the way you assert yourself in love, or the way you've approached relationships when triggered. Now, this season of deep healing is raising the vibration of your connection, but it's not without challenges. The triggers are intense, but you're handling them with such grace and maturity. It feels like you may be in a period of no contact, but this distance feels intentional. This space between you is allowing both of you to face parts of yourselves that you may not have wanted to see. Even though there's physical distance, the emotional bond is undeniable, and you both are realizing that in a connection this profound, there's no real running. Wherever you go, your emotions and thoughts follow. There's no escaping your mind, no running from the subconscious. It's a part of you, and in this connection, it's impossible to outrun that truth. Let me know if this is resonating with you, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's move on to the final tarot card here. All right, I'm going to reshuffle the deck and let's see what comes through for this final message. The card I'm pulling is the Tower. This card represents sudden change, upheaval, and the breaking down of old structures to make way for transformation. It's the kind of energy that disrupts our expectations and forces us to see the bigger picture. What I'm seeing here is that both you and your person have come to a point in your connection where you're realizing that it's not just about love and light. When you first entered this connection, both of you may have imagined a path filled with harmony and ease. But now, reality is setting in, and the journey is proving to be much more complex and challenging than either of you anticipated. Your person, in particular, is feeling the weight of this realization. It's as though they signed up for something that they didn't fully understand at the time, a connection so profound that it's shaking up everything they thought they knew. They're beginning to realize that what they assumed would be smooth and effortless actually requires deep inner work and personal growth. They may have thought that the intensity of your bond would be enough to carry everything forward, but now they see that this journey demands more than just connection. It demands transformation. This is especially challenging for them at this stage of their personal journey, where they feel the pull towards you, divine feminine, but also the fear of being too close. The intensity of your similar energies can be overwhelming for them, making them even more sensitive to the emotions they are trying to process and integrate. This is not the whole story. They are beginning to understand that there's much more at play here. The connection between you is pushing both of you to evolve in ways neither of you expected, and that evolution, while powerful, is not always easy. Whether you're aware of it or not, your masculine is becoming much more accountable for their actions, and they truly hope that you can sense the reasons behind their choices right now. In their heart, they believe they're making the best decision for both you and this connection until the energy clears and everything finds its balance. This connection is unique. You both have always been so attuned to each other, able to read each other's minds with ease. There's no escaping or running from this bond, and it feels like you're both facing yourselves before you can fully face one another. But with this comes distance, confusion, and doubt. Still, what's coming through strongly is that your person wants you to know just how deeply you affect them every day. You're constantly on their mind, even in their dreams. They're losing sleep, seeking guidance from other strong masculine energies to help them tap into higher principles and find balance within this connection. Despite the distance, they're carrying your energy with them, divine feminine, and that link between you both is unbreakable. No matter how much you and your person change or evolve over time, that bond remains solid. This part of the connection can feel deeply uncomfortable as it ties into that nervousness you both might be feeling. Because you are so similar, it's during these moments when you're called to hold space that you truly long to be close to one another. The distance, the lack of communication, the coldness, it can be painful, especially when all you want is to feel that closeness. But know this, the bond you share is strong, and no matter how things feel in the moment, the connection is permanent and unshakable. This feels like such a beautifully transformative space in your connection, almost like a quiet yet powerful moment of reflection and growth. It's a time where both you and your person are working through deep emotional layers, even if it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. The connection remains solid, unbreakable, as you both navigate these energies. This period, though challenging, is bringing you closer to a deeper understanding of yourselves and each other, preparing you for the next phase of your journey together. This feels like a good place to wrap up the reading. You've both been navigating a lot, but remember that your connection is solid, even when things feel uncertain. Take some time to